Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had your homie that's a mandilon, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have him smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the newest patrons. Cassandra, Coach Ken, Manuel N, New Boot, I'm a Cabron, Boss Lady, Chris, Miguel L, Juliet, Alpha Whiskey, G, AI Vega, Art, and Lawrence. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you do so in the description below. You are definitely missing out. This episode right here is going to be a continuation of how I found myself at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility as a brand spanking new sergeant. Okay? This is where things took a turn for the absolute worst during my 16-year career. If you remained GP, general population, your whole entire time, you just might be thanking your lucky stars for what I'm about to tell you on how it was on Charlie Yard, formerly known as the 3 Yard, when they numbered the yards back in the day. Now the inmate population on that yard, is level 4, sensitive needs yard, protective custody, EOP, enhanced outpatient, the mentally ill. It goes even a step further into DD, P, disabled disability placement, right? Now this characterization or categorization is for inmates that were, disabled growing up, allegedly. That's what it's for, right? Not everybody in there is that, right? There's a lot of people faking the funk. And you have to understand, I came from Centinela. GP, okay, gang member here, gang member there. All right. Common sense, black and white makes sense to me. This, what I'm about to tell you, doesn't make sense. Not which one way or another, right? Man. There's DD1, DD2, DD3. Basically, what those categorizations is that officer in the building, the poor cop in the building has a logbook. And let's say inmate Smith is developmental disabled and needs help being prompted to take a shower, such as, hey, inmate Smith, you're starting to smell. You need to take a shower. Oh, okay, CEO. Thank you. And then he goes, makes a sandwich, right? Eats a sandwich backwards. I don't know how you eat a sandwich backwards, but that's kind of what I'm trying to tell you. It's just, right? That's not prison, right? Well, listen up. These are facts. These are 100% facts. These are things that I've seen, right? In no particular order, right? Man, your boy steps onto the Charlie Yard, right? Walks through the plaza gate. It's not like the modern prisons where a person in complex control or central control pushes the button and the gate pops open. You literally got an old school prison guard right there with the Folger Adams key and keys you into the yard, right? Every plaza gate has an officer sitting there. That actually looks like a good spot, right? It looks like a good spot to stay out of trouble. Thank you. I go in there, man, there's this inmate that walks up to me, brand spanking you. Hey, I know you. I'm like, whoa, man, right? I told you I just came from Centinela, right? Before that, I was in Iraq. Your boy's level of correctional awareness and PTSD was off the charts. I'm like, hey, man, get away from me. I know you. So I'm trying to be cool, like, really, where do you know me from, man? Yeah, I know you. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Then, like, I look at the officers, they're kind of like laughing, apparently this inmate, right? This inmate, man, this dude this dude clearly was not mentally there. Uh, uh I don't know what crime he committed. I don't know. I don't think it was any bad paperwork, funny charges, so to say. I do know, and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. From hearing the officers and hearing his story, apparently his mother used to sell him off for dope when he was a young child. I'm just breaking it down to you guys, right? So it's almost like the individual never had a chance. Never had a chance from the start. Well, it's not almost. That's kind of what it is, right? Especially if you're born with dope inside of your system. That's how it is at times, man. It's unfortunate. It's wrong, right? That is horrible. So I'm like, oh man, it's kind of right. Maneuver the first obstacle. Okay, I passed the first test, I think, right? Next thing you know, there's a white guy doing karate right there, man. This is all true. Karate, shadow boxing. He does like the Mr. Miyagi thing, the Karate Kid thing. And I'm like, oh, man. Man, ALT, is it too late for me to go back? Oh, yeah, it's too late, man. Okay, just asking, man. Mind you, I was a sergeant. So, dude's doing karate. All right, now, now it's coming to me. That's that guy, right? I'm like, oh, man. Another old white man comes up to me and says, I know how you got your stripes. You got it by laying on your back, didn't you? Damn. I'll be damned if I almost didn't roll up my sleeves and take flight on the homie. Man, who the hell are you talking to like that, right? But your boy's not a dummy. Your boy's not a dummy, right? If I was a one single speed torpedo, yeah, of course I would have took off on the dude. But I don't even like talking about this, man. It destroyed me. It destroyed me, right? Hold me back. Hold me back. But like I said, I've gathered enough fact that this place is bizarre, right? In this little tiny period, right? The old man tells me, I know how you got your stripes laying on your back, and he starts laughing to top it off. The officers are looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I think I failed that test, right? I don't know. And it's just the punches just keep coming, right? It's just like, man. Walk by the chow hall, and in a normal chow hall, right? In a normal chow hall, in a normal prison structure, right? Level 4. I don't know. Am I asking for too much? Hit the like button if I'm asking for too much. You're supposed to, even at level 3, what am I talking about here? Even at level 1 as Sentinella, what am I talking about here? Definitely, I'm not asking for too much, okay? So just go ahead and smash that like button. So here we go. You walk by the chow hall, it's full chow, evening time, right? In a regular chow hall, you're supposed to have the inmates sit down in chronological order from one of the first tables, fill up the rows till you go to the back, right? Then you say, next row. They get up, they put the tray away. Next row, right? You're giving them ample time. Nothing is crazy, nothing is sideways, right? At least in my experience, we're not trying to screw nobody over for meal time, right? That's at least I wasn't. That would be crazy. The next row. Anyways, this was not the case. Level 4 inmates were sitting down, getting up, going to get some coffee, probably passing shanks, cell phones, and dope, going to get some punch, sitting down, getting up. You could literally have a code outside of the chow hall. And all the inmates in the chow hall would just get up and run over to the window and look out the window. I mean, it was kind of far out, man. It was kind of far out. So, man, I will talk about a staff assault that happened in the chow hall out of the many, right? So there I am, like, okay, it's day's winding down. Hopefully I'm all out of tricks here. Like, hopefully I'm all out of surprises. I'm walking the track over there. The buildings over there are numbered 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? Level 4, the gate that separates 13, 14, 15, or 14 to 15. Can't remember. Building 14 and 15 are the ones for the EOP inmates. There's a bench. Well, of course, there's benches on the yard, but there's a bench over there in front of 15. I'll be damned if there's a whole bench full of homegirls, transgenders sitting on that bench, right? I came from Centinela. They didn't have those. They had one in the hole a while ago. I'm walking by. One of them said, "Hey, you're too young to be a sergeant," right? She shoots her shot, and I'm like, oh, fuck. First thing I can come out of my damn mouth was, "I'm shot out on the inside." That transgender in me was like, "Ooh, shot out on the inside." I'm like, oh, failed. Your boy's failing miserably. Everybody starts laughing, right? I just keep it moving. I'm like, no way, right? What? I can't, right? Like, I'm not understanding this. I'm not grasping this concept, man. That was just the inmate population, right? The management on that yard. I mean, management is management. It's only gotten drastically worse, but they didn't put me in a great position, right? I wasn't in a win-win situation. I was in a lose situation, right? As a supervisor, mind you. So I'll finish it off with that staff assault in that chow hall, man. Like in a regular staff assault in a regular prison, if there is such thing as a regular staff assault, GPs, man, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to smash you. They're going to stab you, possibly even slash you. That was my biggest fear, aside from getting gassed, right? That's all I got going for me. But like, once you get the upper hand, right? Once you turn the tables on them, right? Once responding staff comes, usually they'll just take what they got coming. Meaning they're not going to be yelling profanities after the fact. It's just like, all right, they did what they did, we did what we did, and everything's kind of just quelled after that. Donovan was not that. Donovan was off the hook. Like, right, and I'm not condoning either, nothing and none of that, right? I would prefer no staff assaults happen. Now, of course, that's what I would prefer, right? I would prefer no BS on any side, of course. So I'm a sergeant. I hear it's like I was almost at the chow hall, right? Because as a sergeant on the level 4, you're supposed to be out there with the troops, observing the movement. So it's like I was in between. I was halfway there. I can't remember. Anyhow, officer and an inmate come tumbling out of the chow hall. Tumbling, wrestling out. Boom, bam, put the yard down. Observation, put the yard down. Center control, staff assault, Charlie dining. Fuck, man, boom, brand new. That's the thing about Donovan. There was a lot, abnormal lot of staff assaults. Because they're impulsive. They don't have to ask for permission. Right? They just go. They don't have to. They don't have to say, "Hey, excuse me, Mr. Keyholder, can I go off on this cop? He'd be disrespecting me." They're wild with it, man. They come tumbling out, right? We all get involved, right? You have all the cops in front of the chow hall doing the feeding procedures. This dude, like a bigger dude, husky, bigger. I'm never going to claim these guys are giants when they're not giants. This dude was kind of husky. Tussling, still resisting, clearly resisting, right? Then he starts with the mouth, the talking smack, man. Hey, F you, you B words, you N words, you blah, 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 you, man, on, like, man, I'm like, hey, go get the leg restraints, right? Oh, that, I remember now. I remember now about that management, right? I tell observation, drop down the leg restraints, drop down some flex, like just, hey, we need to restrain this dude ASAP, because it was not enough to just have the handcuffs behind his back. This dude was going wild, right? Hey, just stop. Now he's threatening to spit on us. Like, hey, dude, you do not want to spit on us. You do not, right? I think the dude had enough wits to understand that he truly did not want to spit on us. I think he understood that. I'm new on this yard, man. And man, the poor officer, his glasses got broken. I felt bad for the cop, right? Because I didn't know how to be new. I didn't know I knew how to be new. I was definitely being new. I didn't know how to process like a broken glasses claim or anything like that, man. The dude's glasses got smashed, his bifocals. Prescription glasses, man, in the process of fighting this inmate. Dude doesn't want to get up, right? And this was 2015. I'm like, hey, pick him up like a suitcase, right? We didn't have body-worn cameras in. We didn't even have cameras on the yard. I'm just like, hey, pick him up like a suitcase. Like, I'm not dealing with this. We have to have level 4 level 4. These inmates have to get fed, right? We're not going to stop the program because one guy doesn't know how to behave. The inmates have to get fed. That has to happen. So everybody looks at me like I'm like, all right. There we go. We grab an arm. Everybody grabs one arm each. I think I grabbed a leg, right? We're carrying this dude from the chow hall all the way to the program office or the gym with the holding cells. I think at that point, when we picked that inmate up, I think he knew what time it was, right? But all the inmates seen, right? And all the officers seen. And I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I just wanted for him to stop doing that and to get him from point A to point B. I'm kind of a simple individual. Now, there's different ways you can do it, right? You can get a wheelchair. Right? But now with the whole controlled use of force process, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not my problem anymore at all. The dude got carried like a suitcase, man. We wrote it up in the report. That's when the stupid questions got asked for me by the captain or the associate warden. Oh, she was an AW. She came from Ironwood. This dumb lady, man. She was like an office technician, and I'm not talking about our old chief deputy warden. I'm talking about some other lady. She's like, well, how did you know there was restraints in observation? Oh, my fucking God, lady. Oh, my God. So I replied, right? In the clarification, I wrote it back. Having been involved in numerous fucking riots at Centinela State Prison, being a sergeant and knowing where accountability of all my inventory and tools and equipment are. But then some other lieutenant told me, hey, don't put that, man. I know what you're trying to do. Don't put that. I was new. I was on probation. I recanted that, right? I took that off. But I'm just telling you, that just goes to show you I was sacrificing pieces of myself. That's the message of the day, man. Look, a lot of people ask me, this is my message of my day. This is a damn good one, too. Pay attention. A lot of people ask me, hey, Hector, I just passed my test. I just passed my correctional CDCR test. But you're making me second guess. You're making me think. No, look, CDCR is a great career, right? It's a great career. There's plenty of people that play dumb, play blind. When somebody tells them 2 + 2 = 5, they have to force themselves to say, oh, yes, it is 5. Only to collect that $100,000 a year. Only to collect that health insurance. Only to collect that retirement, right? I couldn't do that no more. I could not continue to dumb myself down for another 12 more years. Think about it. You wouldn't even be able to hear these stories, right? You would have been a GP soldado your whole entire life, never knowing what it was like to go to the other side, right? And that was just the beginning. So that's the message for today. Anybody can do whatever they want, right? But if something doesn't feel right in your natural being, then be the change that you want to see. Clearly, something is holding you back when you got the potential to go for the gusto. Keep pushing forward.